This video will go over the distance formula, and it will go through the examples on the worksheet that you were given by the sub. The distance formula, the first thing that we need is the actual formula, so you're going to want to write this down somewhere. So the distance formula is the square root, and we're going to subtract our x's and square it, subtract our y's and square it. And this is very similar to what we were doing yesterday. If you have the x1, y1 as one of your points and x2, y2 as your other point. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to want to do when you are solving these is, I'm going to zoom in on this really quick. You want to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to go ahead and write our formula out again. Okay, so we want to plug these in. So I'm going to go ahead and make my square root, and then I'm going to do my 6 minus 4 squared and my 0 minus negative 1 squared. So remember, when we have a minus like we do right here, that we make that into a plus, so keep that in mind. 6 minus 4 is 2 squared, and 0 plus 1 is 1 squared. So then I'm going to go ahead and square each one of those things in the square root. So 2 squared is 4, 1 squared is 1, 4 plus 1 is 5. Notice I saved that square root till last, and now I'm going to find the square root of 5, which is 2.23. And I'm going to just round that to the tenths place, which is what our directions say, is to round to the nearest tenth. And so that would be my answer, is that 2.2. Let's do another on number 4. Okay, so remember, first thing we want to do is label x1, y1, and x2, y2. So I'm going to do x2 minus x1 squared and y2 minus y1 squared. I see that minus, I'm going to go ahead and make that a plus. So this will be negative 15 squared and 1 squared. The negative 15 squared is 225, and 1 squared is 1. So we're looking at the square root of 226, which is 15.03, so I'm just going to round it to 15. And we don't really even need to put that 0.0 on there. So this would be my distance then. It would be 15 units away from each other. So on 5 and 6, you're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. You're going to find the distance using the distance formula, and then you're going to find the midpoint using the midpoint formula that we talked about yesterday, which, remember, the midpoint formula, you just add your x's, divide by 2, add your y's, and divide by 2. So you should remember how to do that. You should be able to do the rest of this and your review. Have any questions ready for when I get back next week.